What if I told you your brain decides what you're going to do before you're even aware of it? Not milliseconds, but seconds earlier. That means that a decision you feel right now might already be made. So the question is, are you really in control or just observing your own mind? This idea comes from experiments by neuroscientists like Benjamin Libet. His research changed how we think about decision-making, consciousness, and even free will. But the truth is more complex and far more unsettling. Participants were asked to perform a simple action, like pressing a button whenever they felt like it. Meanwhile, their brain activity was being recorded. What scientists found was shocking. A signal appeared in the brain before the person felt they made the decision. This signal is called the readiness potential. In simple terms, your brain starts preparing an action before you decide to do it. Imagine this. You're sitting in a lab, staring at a clock. Wires are attached to your head, measuring your brain activity in real time. Your task is simple. Press a button whenever you feel like it. No planning, no countdown, just a spontaneous decision. But there's one important detail. You also have to note the exact moment you become aware of your decision. The moment you think, I'm going to press now. So now, scientists are tracking two things. When your brain starts acting, when you think you decided. And this is where things get strange. When scientists analyzed the data, they found a signal in the brain that appeared before the person felt they made a decision. This signal is known as the readiness potential. It showed up hundreds of milliseconds earlier. In simple terms, your brain had already started the action before you knew about it. Don't think of it as your brain vs you. Think of it like this. There are layers to your mind. The deeper layer starts the action, and the conscious layer becomes aware of it slightly later. So when you say, I chose this, the real question is, did you actually choose it in that moment? Or did your brain choose first, and you just experienced the decision? And this was just the beginning, because later experiments didn't just detect decisions early, they started predicting them. And if that sounds surprising, what came next was even more unsettling. Because scientists didn't just observe decisions early, they started predicting them. With newer technology like brain scans and imaging, researchers could now look deeper into the brain. Not just electrical signals, but patterns of activity. Instead of milliseconds, they were now looking seconds into the future. In one experiment, participants were given a simple choice. Press a button with the left hand or the right hand. They were told to decide freely, whenever they wanted. But while they were thinking, scientists were watching their brain activity. And here's the shocking part. By analyzing brain patterns, researchers could predict which hand a person would choose, up to 7 seconds before the person became aware of their decision. 7 seconds. Before you even feel like you decided, your brain might already be leaning toward a choice. It's like your future action is quietly forming in the background, while you still believe you're deciding in the present. Now this doesn't mean scientists can read your mind perfectly. The predictions aren't 100% accurate, but they are significantly better than chance. Which means, something in your brain is already moving toward a decision. Think of it like this. Your conscious mind feels like the driver, but it might actually be sitting in the passenger seat, watching the wheel turn. So when you feel like, I'm choosing right now, that moment might just be when your awareness catches up to what your brain has already started. And this leads to a deeper question. If your brain starts decisions before you, then what exactly is your role in making them? So, does this mean you don't have free will? Not exactly. And this is where most people get it wrong. These experiments don't prove that you have zero control. What they suggest is something more subtle. Your brain may start a decision, before you become aware of it. But starting a decision is not the same as completing it. Some scientists believe your conscious mind still has a role, not in starting actions, but in stopping them. This is often called a kind of veto power. Instead of thinking of your mind as one thing, it may be better to see it as layers. A deeper layer generates impulses, patterns, and tendencies, while your conscious awareness monitors and interacts with them. So maybe control doesn't mean creating every thought or decision. Maybe it means recognizing them before they turn into action. The problem is, most of our daily behavior runs automatically. Habits, reactions, impulses. By the time you notice them, they've already started. You may not control what appears in your mind, but you can influence what you do with it. And that creates a strange situation. You are both the source of your thoughts and the observer of them, which leads to an even deeper question. If thoughts appear before you choose them, then who or what are you really? So after all of this, what does it really mean? If your brain starts decisions before you, then what exactly is you? Are you the one creating thoughts, or the one observing them? Because if thoughts appear on their own, then they're not entirely under your control. Try this. Don't think of anything for the next few seconds. Just stay completely blank. You'll notice something strange. Thoughts still appear, not because you chose them, but because your mind generated them. Which means, your mind is constantly producing content, ideas, impulses, reactions, before you even notice them. So maybe control isn't about choosing every thought. Maybe it's about becoming aware of them early enough to influence what happens next. You may not control the start, but you can influence the outcome. And that changes everything. Because if you understand this, you stop blindly reacting to everything. You start noticing patterns, habits, triggers, automatic behaviors. And once you notice them, you create space. Space to pause. Space to choose differently. Space to break patterns. But here's the uncomfortable part. If most of your actions start before you're aware of them, how much of your life are you actually choosing? And if you're not choosing everything, then what is guiding those choices? Your past? Your habits? Your environment? Maybe the real question isn't, do we have free will? Maybe it's, how aware are we of the decisions already? Because the more aware you become, the less your mind runs on autopilot, and the more you begin to actually take control. If this made you think differently, you're just getting started. There's a lot more your mind is doing that you're not aware of.